Hello and welcome to another episode of Dream Home Cooking. Today I am making something very different from what I normally cook. It's called burger bowls and homemade bagels. And the burger bowls are based off of one of my favorite local restaurants in Huntsville. And it's a salad that has these wonderful pieces of roasted butternut squash, roasted pumpkin seeds, cranberries, all this great stuff in it. So I have been, during the quarantine, I couldn't go there, so I've been trying to come up with my own version of it, and I think it's pretty good. So I think you guys will enjoy this. And it's pretty healthy as well. So before I do anything, I want to go ahead and roast the squash because it takes about 25 to 30 minutes. Now, butternut squash is my favorite squash. However, it's a pain to cut. I'm always afraid I'm going to cut my hand off. So now the grocery stores make it real simple for us, and they already have it cut up in the deli section. So that's what I got. It's a pound of fresh butternut squash cubed. And so to that, I'm going to add about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. And you need a good amount because this is what helps it to roast so nicely in the oven. And the pieces will get browned and almost to the point of crunchiness. So to that, I'm going to add a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. And you can add a little garlic powder if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it like it is because this salad has so many different layers of flavors. You just want to give it a good stir and make sure that it's all coated well with that olive oil. And you just eyeball it. If it looks like you need to add a little more, you can. You can't add too much. So I have a piece of parchment paper, which you guys know by now, I love to use it. It's just easy cleanup and it helps with sticking. So you're just going to turn this squash out onto the pan. And I have already got my oven preheated at 400, and this goes in there for about 25 to 30 minutes. You want to watch it towards the end because everybody's ovens are different. And then you want to just kind of pat them down and just make sure they're in a single layer. That way it all roasts evenly. Okay, so I'll just set this to the side. I'll pop that in the oven in a minute. Now, the next part of this salad is the dressing. And some of you probably use this, have used it for years, but it's just the ranch pack of dressing mix that you find at the grocery store. Buy the salad dressings. This stuff is so good, and it's so simple. It's basically the recipe on the back of this packet, so I can't take credit for it. However, anytime I make it, everybody loves it. So I've got 1 cup of real mayo in here. To that, I'm going to add this packet of ranch. There's a world of difference between this and the one that you buy in the bottle on the shelf, I promise. If you haven't tried this, you'll definitely want to. So you just take a whisk and get all that powder mixed in evenly. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of buttermilk. And I use the fat-free buttermilk. To me, that's one place I don't miss the taste with it being fat-free. And so that helps as far as calories and fat. So make sure you've got all that powder mixed in with the mayo. And then I'm just going to add the buttermilk. And then you just stir it real well, pop it in the fridge. It's always better the next day, but at least wait, 2 or 3 hours if you can before you serve it. Then all the flavors mesh together. All right, so this dressing is done other than popping it in the fridge and letting it sit overnight or at least a couple of hours. So I'm going to put this in a container in the fridge. I'm going to get the squash in the oven. And then I'll show you guys when we come back how I make the burger patties and cook them. And then also I'll show you how I build this beautiful salad with all these different layers of flavor in it.
Hey guys, come on in.
Hey Troy.
Yeah, let me show you around.
Wow.
As the Acme Brick spokesperson, I get paid in brick. All the brick I want. Solid. What? Too much? To get Acme Brick quality, look for the Acme name. And here's the guest room. Hope you like a firm mattress.
Hey guys, I wanted to let y'all know about a year ago, me and Bruce Stone started a new company called Stonewood Homes. And Stonewood is a little different business plan than Woodland Homes because Stonewood is a scattered lot home builder, which means if you have a lot and you're looking for a builder, Stonewood is the answer. So if you own a home site or you're looking at building a custom home, give us a call at 830-9000 and let's start building.
When you select Wolde Flooring's hardwood, you don't just enhance your home, you transform it. With hundreds of beautiful, durable, hand-selected varieties that come with up to a 50-year warranty, you can count on unsurpassed beauty and proven durability that's guaranteed to stand the test of time. When you want the best flooring for your home, come to Wolde Flooring in Madison. WoldeFlooring.com, 256-325-8453.
Since 1983, individuals and businesses in Alabama have relied on Wolf, Jones, Wolf, Hancock, Daniel, and South for their legal representation. Our experienced attorneys offer high-quality legal counsel in commercial law, real estate, and personal injury litigation. So if you need an attorney, hire the best attorney you can. Call the experienced North Alabama attorneys at Wolf, Jones, Wolf, Hancock, Daniel, and South to arrange your initial consultation, because we're dedicated to setting the standard for legal services.
Choosing an appliance can be complicated these days. That's why at Bob Wallace Appliance, we start by asking questions like an occasional cook or a serious chef, something just for you or an army, once a week or once a day. You see, it's not just what we know about appliances, it's what we know about you. Bob Wallace Appliance, locally owned and operated for more than 35 years. Online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Okay, we're back, and now I have got the butternut squash roasting in the oven. I put the dressing in the fridge, and now I'm going to show you how I make these delicious burger patties. So there's kind of an argument between chefs about, and I'm not a chef, I'm a home cook, but I have heard many chefs argue about ground beef and burgers and how a real burger is just straight up ground beef on the grill. And I just don't agree with that. I think it's okay to doctor it up. And when I make these, people really like them. They can taste the depth of flavor in it. So hopefully you guys will like these as well. I have 1.5 pounds of lean ground beef in the bowl. And then in this little bowl, I have a teaspoon each of salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, my usual round. And that just gives it a really good flavor. Then I'm going to take it up a notch. I'll stir this a little bit. So then I also like to add a little A1, probably about maybe a tablespoon and a half. You can just eyeball it. And then I put Worcestershire, same thing, just about a tablespoon. This makes everything delicious. If you put it on chicken, beef, put it on the grill. I think I have my caps mixed up here. I'll do that later. And then I add a little ketchup, probably about tablespoon of that, and then a little bit of yellow mustard, about a teaspoon. You don't need a whole lot. And I'll stir that. The first time I had this salad, I just thought, wow, this is amazing. Who would have thought to make a salad like this and then put a grilled burger patty on top of it? But it's very good. We've been making this a lot. And I think if you're on a low carb kind of diet, this would be great. Not necessarily the bagels, but for sure this salad. Okay, so then to the rest of this, I'm going to add, this is 1 egg that I've beaten just a little bit, just makes it easier to mix. And I washed my hands thoroughly, took my rings off because I'm going to have to get my hands in here to form these patties. So get that egg nice and mixed in. And then I have, some people say, what in the world, are you kidding me? But I have a 1/2 cup of oatmeal, and this is just the quick cooking oats. And this acts as a binding agent for the burgers, and it just makes it delicious. We made these for our daughter's fiance's mother and brother this past weekend, and they absolutely loved them. So you just want to take a couple minutes, put some elbow grease in it, and get these mixed up real well. And then we're going to pat them out into patties. Okay, so that will do it. Just make sure everything is good and mixed up. If y'all hear something strange, it's my sweet little Bella dog. She's on the floor over here by me, snoring so loud. Sweet Bella. Okay, so what I like to do, I want to make 6 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and just sort of divide it while it's in the bowl, just so I kind of know what I'm working with. And one patty's not bigger than the other, because if you can make them as close to the same size as possible, that's good because they'll cook evenly. And then Mike came up with this hack. I used to have, from old Tupperware days, I had a hamburger patty maker that was wonderful, and we moved, and I don't know where it is. It might be in the attic somewhere. But anyway, so Mike said, babe, why don't you use this? It's one of those egg rings that you crack the egg into. So it works great, and it just makes everything about the same size. So just go ahead and just put a section of it in here, and it makes them nice and round. And these, for this salad, if I'm gonna have a burger, I love a big thick patty, but for this salad, I just like it kind of thin, and it cooks quicker too. So you just take it, and then I just go back again and just kind of pat it out in my hands. And then I'll put it in this plate. All right, so this is the last patty. It makes 6. So I'm gonna get my hands washed up, and then I wanna light the grill behind me, and I will grill these burgers. Okay, so I have got the grill heated. It takes about 5 minutes to heat up this indoor grill. I love this thing. When we can't grill outside, this is a great option. Sorry for the flame, but I like to spray a little Pam on here. It keeps it from sticking. I also like to spray on the actual patties too. So I'm gonna start putting these on the grill. These only cook on high heat for about 4 minutes on each side, but I'm gonna get these on here. This is a great option to have if you're building a house and it's a real rainy day or in the dead of the winter and you don't wanna go outside and have to fool with lighting the grill. It tastes just as delicious on this cooktop than outside. So call Bob Wallace if you guys want a griddle for your inside. Okay, so I'm gonna let these cook for about 4 minutes on each side, and then I'm gonna flip them. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes on each side. Y'all don't get too close to this, it'll burn your hair. So now I'm just gonna flip these, and then they'll just cook about another 4 minutes on each side, and then they'll be ready. So when we come back, I'm gonna finish cooking these, and when we come back, I am gonna show you guys how I make these delicious but simple homemade bagels.
You know, years ago, we researched different cabinet companies. Wellborn was the cabinet company that we decided to go with. Wellborn has a lot of your custom style building like we did in the local cabinet shops years ago. You just can't go wrong with a product like that with Wellborn. On top of that, Wellborn has researchers that are out in the market every day. Their job is to see what's current in the market, what's selling, and what their dealers need to be showing in their showroom. So come out, let me help you design your kitchen with Wellborn products.
My father started this business in 1977. The people that work for us is part of what sets us apart. All of our employees have experience. All of our plumbers have been with us for 10 years or greater. Our motto at Dean & Son is quality and service. We're going to do quality work. We don't leave people hanging. We're there when we're supposed to be. We're done when we're supposed to be. Living up to what you sell and service them after they pay you, that's where your integrity in the plumbing business comes.
Dean & Son Plumbing Company. Call today at 518-9780.
In choosing a contractor in today's market, finding someone that is going to take care of you and make sure that you're happy with their product, with the quality, it's not an easy task today. The most important thing to me is doing what you say you're going to do, taking care of the customer, installing a product that is superior. My motto is, call the lady with a team you can trust, and I feel confident that we are a team that you can trust.
Okay, we're back, and man, this kitchen smells delicious from those burgers cooking. So I'm just gonna let the burgers rest a little bit. And now I wanna show y'all how to make these bagels. I have been so excited about sharing this recipe with y'all. So you wanna use 1 cup of all-purpose flour, but you want the unbleached all-purpose flour. You could also use bread flour, which has been really hard to find these days. But all-purpose unbleached is fine. So this calls for 2 teaspoons of baking powder that you add to the flour. And I'm just putting that in there. Then 3/4 teaspoon of salt. There we go. Okay, so then you just want to take that baking powder and salt and just stir it into the flour so that it's incorporated real well. And then the only other ingredients you add to this is non-fat Greek yogurt. And y'all, these bagels are out of this world. I have made this so many times during quarantine. I could make them with my eyes closed. Okay, so now we're going to add the yogurt. And this is 2 containers of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. And this, you need 1 cup of non-fat yogurt in case you want to buy the real big container. But this equates to 1 cup because of the settling of it. It says it's 5.3 ounces, but it's a perfect 8 ounces when you mix these 2 together. So these bagels do have carbs. I think it's about 23 grams of carbs, but because of this Greek yogurt, they have 10 grams of protein, which I think is great. Okay, so I like to use a fork. Y'all know that by now. And I'm just going to gently start mixing that yogurt in there. And you want to use the no fat because the full fat Greek yogurt is going to make this too sticky. It'll be almost impossible to work with. So just keep stirring it real gently. Okay, so now it's taken about 3 to 4 minutes to really get that yogurt incorporated in with the flour and baking powder and salt. And make sure, guys, that it is baking powder and not baking soda. Okay, so now I've got a little cutting board under this piece of parchment paper, or you can use wax paper or whatever. And so I've got some flour right here so that when I turn it out on here, my hands aren't going to get all sticky. And you got to get your hands in this too. So just wash them thoroughly and take your rings off because it'll get all in there and hard to clean out. Okay, so now what you do, it's not anything like making homemade bread where you have to sit here and knead it and knead it and knead it. I'm basically going to do this, I count 15 times. You just kind of take it, pat it, and then I'm going to fold it like a piece of paper. And then just turn it over. And then I'm just going to do that 15 times. That seems to be the magic number. And then I'll show you guys what happens next. And I wanted to tell y'all too, our community of the week is MonroeManor. It's out in Meridianville, very near Kindlewood. And those 2 are just beautiful communities in a great area with great schools, lots of convenient places all around. And when Mike gets here, he will tell you guys much more detail about MonroeManor. All right, so that was at least 15 times. I just kept folding it. And then I'm just going to kind of make a ball like so. So now I've got it formed into a ball. So now I'm going to just cut it into 4 pieces. And 4 bagels really isn't a lot, especially if you have 4 people in your household. So you may want to double or even triple this recipe. Okay, so you just cut it in half and then cut it one more time. So you've got 4 pieces. Now you just have to work with it. You sort of have to put the dough in your hand and then just keep rolling it until you can get it to the point where you can make a circle. Okay, so you just want to do it like so, and then you just take the ends and pinch it, and then it makes just a little circle like a bagel is supposed to look. Okay, so here's the last one. I'm just going to attach it to make a circle. And they don't have to be perfect, guys. They can be, mine are somewhat sloppy, but we all know my baking record, so this is good for me. All right, so then the last step is I've got egg white, just 1 egg white that I just cracked in a bowl without the yolk, and I'm just going to brush it. This will brown it, and it will also give you the sticking powder for the seasoning that I'm going to put on here. So we're going to do both sides, but before I flip them, I want to go ahead and sprinkle a generous amount of the everything but the bagel. This has like garlic powder, onion powder. I've thought about making my own up. Just look at the ingredients on the back, but they always leave 1 or 2 secret things out. And it just smells really good too, this seasoning. Okay, so got that. Now I'm just going to gently flip these, make sure they don't lose their seal. And when you're baking them, your kitchen will smell delicious. Okay, I'm going to clean my hands up a little bit and do the egg wash. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat what I just did. Sprinkle the seasoning, then they go in an oven at 375 for 25 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and get these in the oven. And when we come back, Mike will be here and we will eat this delicious food and he will tell you about MonroeManor.
if you're looking to remodel or build your dream home. It all starts at the Dream Studio by Woodland Homes. At Woodland Homes Dream Studio, you'll work with seasoned professionals dedicated to providing you with the very best, whether you're starting from scratch or remodeling. And with thousands of selections to choose from, the Dream Studio offers everything you need at the absolute highest quality, all under one roof. The Dream Studio by Woodland Homes. Live your dream. Call 830-9000 today.
All right, we're back, and as promised, I've got Mike in the kitchen with me.
Hungry Mike.
It smells good, doesn't it?
It does smell
just
good.
Anytime you grill something, it just always smells great. But these are those salads we had a lot of during quarantine, the burger bowls, and then my legit homemade bagels that you do not have to boil. You don't have to go through all that trouble to make a homemade bagel, and they're delicious.
Awesome.
But I wanted to show our viewers how I build the salad. So I like to use, you can use any lettuce you want, but I like to use a spring mix. And then here are the roasted pumpkin seeds I told y'all about. They're called pepitas, or you can replace it with cashews or anything you want. This is the roasted butternut squash. It's delicious. Then we like the craisins, or the dried cranberries. You just put a little of those. And then I've got my homemade ranch dressing, and you just want to drizzle, or I say that, homemade, semi-homemade. And then you just put a little patty on the top. And this is just a great little healthy lunch or dinner or whatever you want. So there we are.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Oh, is that
All
yours?
Yeah, that looks great.
Okay. Yeah, it's delicious. So
yeah, and a little bagel on the side.
yeah, you can put a bagel on the side and be done with it.
Well, good. Can't wait to eat.
Okay, me too. I know. So I was telling the viewers about our community of the week, which is Monroe Manor. And that's right out next to Kindlewood,
yeah,
right?
so
and
it's off Monroe Road. If you go up the Parkway like you're going to Meridianville, turn left on Monroe, and I think we're about a mile on the right-hand side. So it's right before you cross the creek there, and it's on the right-hand side. It's right next door to Kindlewood. So that price point is, the Kindlewood price point is about $325 to $350, and it goes up from there. But what we've done at Monroe Manor is a larger home site subdivision, meaning that the majority of the lots are an acre or even greater.
Oh, nice.
And we've got probably half the home sites that back up to this beautiful creek area. But what we've decided to do is the community is platted with those lots that back up to the creek, and they're about an acre.
Yeah.
Then there's another acre, acre and a half to 2 acres back behind them.
Okay.
So right now what we're doing is we're just saying, you purchase the home site, we're going to deed you this extra acre to 2 acres. So some of these home sites could end up being 2 acres to 3 acres.
Oh, nice. That's hard to find.
It's hard to find. And so Monroe Manor is a little bit different community than a traditional woodland community in the fact that we're gearing this community more toward people who may want to custom build. And so we've got 3 different builders in there. If you want to build a woodland home floor plan in there, Woodland Homes will price it and build it for you. But if you wanted to, let's say, for example, if you have your own plan, and these lots are plenty big enough to where big wide houses will fit, then we've got 2 other builders that build all of our custom homes in there. Stonewood Homes is one of our custom builders in there. And then Kindlewood Homes is another one of our custom builders. So we've got 3 great builders in there. We've got a variety of either our plans or you can bring your own. And it's going to hit that price point of about $450,000 and up. So in Meridianville, no matter what your price point is, we've got something that'll fit you.
2 more great woodland communities,
and they are on fire.
I know.
So construction like crazy out there. So, but for more information of any of our communities, log on to our website, woodlandhomes.com. You can get Melissa's recipes there, or you can just simply give us a call at 256-830-9000. And Melissa, as always, wants to shout out for the sponsors.
Huge shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah.
Big thank you. And you can find these recipes on Dream Home Cooking on Facebook as well.
Yeah. Whether if it's Monroe Manor or any of our great communities, we'd love for you to come out, check out our models, and come see us in the community. So with that, we're going to eat. Yeah, let's do it. So.
Okay, I'm going to take a picture of this one. So don't touch it.